My name is Detective James Holloway, and I've seen my fair share of gruesome cases, but none haunted me like what happened at St. Vincent's Hospital. It started with a man named Daniel Carter, admitted for a routine appendectomy. The surgery went smoothly, and he was expected to recover within days. But then he vanished. The nurse on duty, Julia Thompson, swore she had checked on him moments before. She left his room to grab fresh linens, and when she returned, the bed was empty. The window was sealed, the bathroom unoccupied. It was as if Daniel had simply disappeared into thin air. We scoured the hospital. Security reviewed footage. Nurses combed through hallways. Nothing. His family was devastated, and I had no answers for them. A week later, the smell started. A sickly, decaying stench seeped through the upper floors, pungent and inescapable. Janitors searched every room, every vent, every closet. Finally, maintenance was called to check the ceiling. That's when we found him. Daniel Carter's body was curled in the fetal position inside the ceiling crawl space. His limbs were twisted, his face frozen in a silent scream, his eyes wide and empty. But the autopsy revealed something even worse. He hadn't crawled up there himself. Someone had put him there after he was already dead. There were no signs of struggle, no forced entry, no fingerprints. It was as if something had taken him, killed him, and hidden him away where no one would think to look. I spent months trying to make sense of it. No enemies, no suspicious visitors, no plausible explanation. It was like he had been chosen at random. And the worst part? I can't shake the feeling that whoever or whatever did this isn't finished. Because I still hear the echoes of that silent scream in my dreams, and every time I do, I know it's coming back for someone else. The hospital staff refused to discuss the incident. Some left their jobs without notice. The ones who stayed seemed distant, eyes filled with something I couldn't quite place. Fear or guilt, maybe both. When I questioned Julia Thompson again, she hesitated before finally admitting something disturbing. The night Daniel disappeared, she had heard something. Not just the usual beeping monitors or the low murmurs of night staff. Something else. Scraping. She said it sounded like fingernails dragging against the ceiling. Slow, deliberate, and then it stopped. She thought it was her imagination, exhaustion playing tricks on her, until Daniel was found exactly where she had heard the noise. That detail stuck with me. I kept replaying it in my head, trying to rationalize it. Maybe the vents had carried sound from another room. Maybe the old pipes groaned under shifting temperatures. But none of those explanations sat right with me. Then, a few months later, another man vanished from a different hospital 2 towns over. Different case, different circumstances, but the outcome was the same. They found him in the ceiling, contorted, his mouth frozen mid-scream. The coroner's report was eerily similar to Daniel's. Death unnatural, no evidence of struggle, no signs of how he got there. 2 victims, 2 hospitals, no connections. I began digging deeper, tracking down similar cases, cross-referencing hospital reports. The deeper I looked, the worse it got. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was a pattern. Over the past decade, cases just like Daniel's had been scattered across the country. Hospitals, clinics, nursing homes. Each time, the victim disappeared overnight, only to be found days or weeks later, stuffed into impossible spaces. And here's the part that makes my blood run cold. Each victim was discovered in the exact same fetal position, their bodies curled in on themselves as if trying to ward off some unseen horror. Their faces frozen in death all bore the same expression. Eyes wide, mouths slightly open, as though they had seen something so utterly terrifying in their final moments that even death couldn't erase the fear. It wasn't just fear, though. It was something deeper, something more primal, a look of pure, unfiltered dread. I don't know what's taking them. I don't know why it chooses hospitals, why it lingers near the ceilings watching like a patient predator, but I know one thing with absolute certainty. It's not done yet. There's an unnatural stillness in the air, a weight pressing down on me, whispering in the back of my mind that whatever this thing is, it's waiting, watching, calculating its next move. I can feel it, just beyond the edge of my perception, lingering in the shadows where my eyes refuse to focus. And if I can't find a way to stop it, someone else is going to disappear, just like Daniel did. But this time, we may never find them.